Hello students, today we're going to talk a little bit about slope of line. This is a review. I'm not teaching it new, but to remind you of slope, when we talk about y equals mx plus b, the actual m portion of it. Alright, so again, when I think of the word slope, I always remind myself we use the letter m to notate it. That slope is simply rise over run. Alright? It's the change in y over the change in x, okay? And we'll talk about it that way today. Now, if you're using the equation with the points, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, that is correct. And you can use that also, okay? Like I've talked about in class, I typically don't do it that way, all right? I see it a different way, and the way I see it is this. And we'll start with a positive slope line. We'll make it blue. When I have a slope of a line, I always take 2 points on the line that meet on a coordinate. You know, I don't want to deal with 0.27 comma 0.93. I want to deal with 0 comma 4 or 2 comma negative 3. I want integers, all right? But every time I see this, I know that I can figure out, I can put a right triangle in here and know the rise and the run. And when I have a line going uphill, I immediately know that that's a positive slope. And when I have a line going downhill, I immediately know that I have a negative slope. This will be a negative slope. And I think the best way to do this, since this is a review video, is for us to simply do some examples. All right? So, and again, if you want to use this equation, you can. I won't be using it on the videos myself. All right. So it says find the slope of each line and gives a graph. So again, I am looking for a triangle here. I'm thinking to myself, I would like a triangle. So I always take the time to make a triangle. And I'm not a big fan of counting, but when you have graphs like this, it's the way to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3. All right. Now again, this is going downhill, so I know it's negative, but I want to be clear that we can it's 6 and 3. We're going to remember that, okay? And I'm going to erase it. Okay, 6 and 3. We also know that we went down 6 with the arrow, so that's negative 6, and then we went to the right, positive 3. Slope is rise over run, so I do the y over x. So it's negative 6 down over 3. We do our math, negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. Now I do want to take a second and do this in another color. I'll do it in green. I don't have to go this way. I could have gone this way. I could have gone up 6, which is positive, but then I have to go on left 3, which will be negative. So when I do the slope that way, I want to be clear, it's still negative 2. It's still negative 2, guys, all right? And again, I knew it was going to be negative because it was going downhill. I made that determination right away. All right. So on the next one, I'll stay green. 1, 2, 3 for run. 1, 2, 3, 4 for rise. Positive 3 because I went right, and then I went up 4. Slope is rise over run. So the slope of this line is 4/3. Notice no x in it, right? It's just a value of how quick the rate of change is happening, or how slowly, if it's a big or small number. As we scroll down, then we don't have to do lines, we can do points, and this is where that formula sometimes is nice. But again, I like to plot the points quickly on a graph and then work from there. So, 3, negative 3, 3, negative 3, boom. I'm just going to call that A. You'll see why in a second, okay? I'm not going to label it the point. And I'm going to do the other point, negative 4, negative 2, as B. And then I'll just do a quick trace of the line. And I'm going to do it in yellow, a highlighter, so that you can see that it's going right here, all right? Everyone, right now, I know this is a negative slope line. I can tell it's going downhill, so it's going to be, the M is going to be negative. And again, I think that's a big deal. So I might even go M equals negative. And again, I'm thinking rise over run for slope. Everyone, I'm not going to count this time. Kind of like what we do with distance between points and whatnot. I'm going to look at the values here. I'm going from negative 4 to 3. I'm just looking at the x value, so I'm going to call that the change in x. 3 minus a minus 4, that's 7, guys. Negative 4 to 0, 0 to 3. That's 7. On the y's, I'm going from negative 3 to negative 2. That's just 1. And again, if you're not seeing this, it would be the math on these two things. I can write below, all right? And I get 1, all right? Now, I now know that's rise over run, and I know it's negative. Rise of 1, run of 7. The answer to this one is negative 1, 7. All right? 1, 2 on the next one, number 4 here. I'm going to graph it. 1, 2, boom. 2, 4, boom. And everyone, that is a positively sloped line. It's going uphill. Okay, and again, this is a review video, not a teach video. But again, I look at the change in x from 1 to 5 is 4. The change in y from 2 to 4 is 2. Rise over run, okay? Rise over run. Oh, I misplotted the point. I misread that point. I got to back up, guys. It wasn't working. So let's try this again. 1, 2 was correct. You probably caught it, but I didn't. 5, 4. I misread it and did that. So it's still positive. And my triangle's here. So delta x was 4. That was right. And I caught it because it didn't make sense because I was going to end up with a fraction line. We're going to talk about steepness on a turn. It's 2. It's rise over run, guys. So again, the answer to this will be rise over run 2 4. But guys, we don't leave unsimplified fractions. So the answer for the slope of this line is positive half. There's a worksheet attached to this video, a link, you can go to it here. It has these 6, all right? I'm going to do them rather quickly, all right? Rather quickly. If you need more, slow me down, pause me. All right, again, when you have this, first thing I notice, guys, and again, all these problems are rise over run. They're just asking for slope. 1, 2, 3, 4, down 4, which will be negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, positive 7. It's downhill, so it's negative 4 7s. Over here, this is number 2 is uphill. It's going to be positive right away. I know it's positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for the run. 2, 3, 4, 5 for the rise. And again, this is the time we count. It's positive. I don't have to put the plus sign. So how about positive 5/8? All right, if I go full screen now. All right, your formula here would probably work pretty nicely. I'm not going to do it because one of the things we're going to do as we graph points in geometry this year is we will look for y equals mx plus b. The graph helps a lot with that. So I'm going to just make really rough sketches of each. So I'm going to start with number 3 here. Make a coordinate plane, x and y. We should label our axes. 9, 11 is up here someplace. Negative 2, 7 is down over here someplace. And everybody, that is an uphill line. That is an uphill line. So I know the slope is positive. So now I look at the points. Negative 2 to 9. And again, 9 minus a minus 2. 9 plus 2 is delta x is 11. A 7 to 11. Delta y. 11 minus 7 is 4, guys. And again, this line's uphill. We know it's positive. Rise over run. The slope is 4 11s. Let's do a different color for the next one, just to keep them straight. And again, I make a quick coordinate plane, labeling the axes, x and y. All right, 3, negative 5, 3, negative 5 is somewhere down here. Negative 8, negative 4, somewhere over here. The big thing to notice, guys, is that it's going downhill. It's going downhill. And again, with practice, you might have to slow down and put tick marks. Again, I'm really good at this. I'm going fast, trying to keep the video short. It'll take you guys longer. All right, 3 to negative 8. 3 minus a minus 8. I got a delta x of 11 again. -5 to -4. Delta y is 1. The distance between -5 and -4 is 1 on the number line. Guys, it is downhill, so it's negative. And this time it's 111. It's not always 11, right? Next two will show us that. All right, let's keep red for number 5. And this time I'm going to do it a little faster. 2, 3, boom. 4, 8, boom. Guys, it is a positively sloped line. 4 to 2 on the x, delta x is 2. 8 to 3 on the y, delta y is 5. You can tell that this is positive, so it's just slope is 5/2. And everyone, we want to start, remember we pay attention to how steep a line is. You can tell on number 5 how steep this is. It's more than 1, it's a very steep line. Where you look at number 3, it was 4/11, it was a very shallow line, okay? But 5/2 is the answer. We'll change, let's do green for the last one today. And again, I'll do a graph first. I always do a graph first. 8, -9 is down in quadrant 4, okay? 12, -14 is also in quadrant 4. Guys, this is a negatively sloped line. It's a negatively sloped line. 8 to 12, maybe I'll show a little more here. Delta x is 12 minus 8 is 4. Delta y, I start with the big value, it's -9 minus a -14. All right, and I do the math there, I get 5. All right, it's negative, so I right away write that. M equals -5/4. Guys, keep practicing. All right, takes a lot of work.